months, Indians watched to find out when they would vote in elections due to be conducted this year. But while they were still waiting for poll dates to be announced, a controversy erupted over political donations. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's governing Bharatiya Janata Party had introduced a scheme in 2018 allowing the public to purchase electoral bonds and donate them to political parties. They could do so anonymously and without limits. But earlier this year, India's Supreme Court declared the practice unconstitutional. It ordered the names of individuals and companies who bought these bonds to be made public. According to the information that's been released, Mr. Modi's BJP is the party that received the highest proportion of the donations from these bonds.
Well, I am not surprised or worried about the ruling party getting a majority of the share. In fact, I am surprised that they did not corner 90%. So that would have been a bigger surprise. Ruling party anywhere has an advantage.
The main opposition party, the Indian National Congress, which came in third on the list of beneficiaries, says the scheme has given BJP a huge advantage in the elections. It's a view that is shared by the Communist Party of India Marxist, one of the smaller parties in the Indian Parliament.
And with huge amounts of money that have been transferred, and there's only one avenue. There have been other things, the electoral funds, you had the PM cares, we go to all other ways. So a huge amount of money accumulated with the ruling party that destroys the level playing field in a democracy.
The CPIM, as it is known, has been one of the biggest critics of the scheme since its inception in 2017, and it publicly stated that it would not accept any donations through the scheme. The party is also one of the petitioners in the case that challenged the legality of electoral bonds in the Supreme Court. Even though the scheme has now been scrapped, critics say the BJP has already reaped the benefits, as political parties have already encashed most of the funds donated.
It is a little too late, unfortunately.
But the BJP says having the higher share of the pie has not given the party an undue advantage in these polls.
The BJP is the party which is the largest number of MPs in the Lok Sabha or the People's House, 300 plus. But the amount received by the BJP is less than 40%. So in ratio of or in proportion to our members of parliament, it's a minuscule amount compared to political parties who have a far smaller political presence but have received proportionally far greater amounts.
But Prime Minister Modi's party benefiting disproportionately from poll donations is not the only thing that has critics worried.
In a national election, these revelations have deepened fears of a quid pro quo setup between companies and political parties. Investigations have found that at least 30 corporations donated to political parties after federal agencies launched probes of tax violations and money laundering against them. Another report suggests that 33 corporations donated amounts worth more than their profits, and 3/4 of these donations went to the BJP.
The revelation is causing many to question what corporations have received in exchange.
The guys who donate are not saints. So they donate because they have some vested interest. There is no free lunch. When they donate, they expect something in return.
One Indian media network says companies donating large amounts to the BJP were awarded major government contracts, and it's given the opposition more ammunition to attack the party.
कंपनियों से हफ्ता लेने का तरीका है, कंपनियों से कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स का शेयर लेने का तरीका है, और शायद सबसे बड़ा,
दुनिया में सबसे बड़ा भ्रष्टाचार का स्कैम.
In a recent interview, Prime Minister Modi defended electoral bonds. He maintains the scheme was a good way to crack down on black money. So far, nothing has been implemented to replace electoral bonds as a source of political funding. The Center for Media Studies in New Delhi monitors political spending, and according to its estimate, parties will end up spending $14.4 billion to woo voters this time. Political observers say money received through electoral bond scheme has largely funded that expenditure to win what is shaping up to be India's most expensive election ever. Priyatha Brajbasi, CNA, New Delhi.